ISOC and everyone. We were told the internet is for everyone. It's for the underserved, the least served, and the unborn. And it's a duty to everyone here to make sure that we meet this challenge. Thank you. While the panel was going on, we had some guests coming. We had Assistant Commissioner of Police Ayotunde Omodende from the Nigerian Police Force, and CSP Ayodele Adeyemi, also from the Nigerian Police Force. Thank you, sir. We also have Ms. Titi Akinsami, the policy lead of Google Sub-Saharan Africa. You're welcome, ma'am. We also have Mrs. Ibikun Odusote, a permanent secretary from the presidency. You're welcome, ma'am. So we'd like to give the Nigerian Police Force some few minutes to give us a goodwill message. And also we had the SSA to the VP, Alhaji Abdurrahman Bafayola. You're welcome, sir.
Good afternoon, and I stand on the existing protocol. I want to congratulate ISOC for organizing this event because I remember I registered as far back as 2001 or 2002. Then I don't think there was a local chapter. And I was looking up when the first chapter opened in Port Harcourt then. I was expecting a local event, but I did not get any information about the local event. Now, internet, we know, is the bedrock of modern society, as no sector of the society can work without internet. And from the angle of law enforcement, because the world is now a global village, the most important challenge we have is now, how do we respond to changes in the cyber world? As of 2001, the number of internet users in Nigeria was about 10,000. Now we have over 92 million users, which means that the volume of people using the internet has increased, which means the number of clients from law enforcement angle has also increased. And there is always a wide gap between the law and the reality on the ground. The law is always reactionary. Most of our law is always law that come in when event has come. And oftentimes we don't have law that address issue as at the time it is coming. And that's why, from the point of law enforcement, it seems there is always a wide gap between law enforcement and crime that is related to internet. And since law enforcement has to do with ensuring there is safety in the cyber world, especially among the civil populace, there is always a need for the law enforcement to be abreast at the changes in the cyber world. And there is always issues getting the law enforcement to be ready with these changes. And when we look at most of our law, because most of those who are responsible for making the law are not really cyber savvy, ICT savvy, oftentimes most of our law does not respond to the need of the ICT industry. So I would rather suggest that we should be regular workshop for our lawmakers so that they will be abreast with changes in the ICT world. Now let's look at the recent argument concerning cryptocurrency. I'm not about it. I'm looking at the technology, the blockchain, which is the technology of tomorrow. Why emphasis we ought to be placing emphasis on our response to the changing in the technology world, especially as related to blockchain. Nigeria as a nation, we've not taken a stand about what should be our response to the upcoming changing, especially the blockchain technology. So by the time there will now be security issue relating to blockchain, then we now start moving from back, trying to resolve the issue. So I will want to conclude by advising that there is need for both private sector and law enforcement agency to work together. I give you an example. There is always the understanding by the people concerning ICT. I give you a practical example. We needed fund for bandwidth, and the auditor came to our office, and we said we spent an X amount on bandwidth. And the auditor said, show me the bandwidth. Because he was looking for bandwidth in terms of physical item. He wanted to see, he saw the computer, he saw the server, he said, I can see server. Where is the bandwidth you spend most of the money on? So if there are more and more education in all sectors, we won't have problem getting the necessary fund, especially the one we need in the law enforcement agency. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We hope to work on the regular workshops for our lawmakers. I'd like to invite Ms. Titi Akinsami for a brief goodwill message. Okay, thank you. Let me just mix.
Yeah, I think I'm getting back from the venue. So please be patient.
Okay, we're going to hear a brief statement from Victor Ndonang, our African Chapter Development Officer. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Iwole. Just give me a few minutes to double check that Kathy was absent for a few seconds. Can see you?
I'm here.
All right, all right. hi again, everyone. So I need to put on my video. We was putting it off to save some bandwidth. But I think it's important that you see my face. So again, oh, sorry. Here we go. So again, hi again, and thank you all for joining us today at this important, very, very important event that is a relaunch of the Internet Society Nigeria chapter. We are very pleased to see that this vibrant chapter is back to the ecosystem. It started in early 1998, but due to some issue in the community, we work with our volunteer there to rejuvenate the chapter and get it back to an active status. And this event today is to tell all our community and partner in Nigeria that the chapter is back in the ecosystem and open to work with everyone who support our vision in making the internet ready for everyone. And without any due, since we have been here since early today, I would like to, we have the honor to have with us today the President of and CEO of the Internet Society, Cathy Brown. She knows how the volunteers are important in the work we do, and she managed to find time today to join this important event and share some remarks. Not just tell you what we are doing, but also hear what are your dreams and what are your challenges and how we can work together to make the internet ready for everyone. So without any ado, Cathy, you have the floor.
Thank you, Victor. Good morning from the United States. I am right now sitting in my living room in Virginia, and you all are sitting apparently in a wonderful venue that I see here and in other places remotely. So first, let's all feel good about the fact that notwithstanding power, we'll talk about that in a minute, we have an internet connection that allows us to do this. This is in itself the progress that we are hoping and working for. I want to congratulate all of you in the room for what is a very important revitalization of this chapter. It's hard to say that we are present in Africa if we are not present strongly in Nigeria. And I find this rebirth, this relaunch, enormously important. You know better than I that Nigeria is far ahead in many places in the world with internet connectivity. The number I have is about 47%. That's not good enough. We all know that. That's why we're in the Internet Society. But it does show substantial progress in getting the network to where it needs to be, and that is to all of our people. So as I heard one speaker just say earlier, the internet is for everyone, and what we are trying to do is ensure that it is for everyone, everywhere. So thank you right from the top for your work on this. I really want to thank and acknowledge that the outgoing leadership has been most helpful in getting us all relaunched, so thank you to them. The working committee that has put all this time and energy into this effort should be applauded as well, and I'll make sure you have all done this. And I'm delighted that the current president of the chapter, Diwali, is here, and I'd like to give a shout out and wave and say, you know, you have our support and the support of our staff. The chapters, of course, by the way, you are now joining a group of 130 chapters and special interest groups around the world in the Internet Society. So you are building on the ground Nigeria, a network of people who are dedicated to the issues that you face every day in your country, but you are now part of a very strong and very resilient and very helpful, as you have been part, but now you need to reassert yourself, a part of a network of people like yourselves who are working diligently to ensure that everyone has the internet. The issues around the world tend to be different regionally and nationally, but not so much. Once you start talking with each other, collaborating on those issues, I was just hearing issues of security, issues of safety, issues of access, issues of power. These are questions that not only you are facing, but others. And the cause, the reason for the Internet Society is because together taking collective action, we can do more. We can make sure the changes we need are being heard by those who can most help us get those changes made. And so the Internet Society becomes a powerful ally and a powerful network for each and every chapter. And I hope you think about it that way, and you think about yourself as part of a much larger movement in the world to ensure that the values of the Internet Society, as well as the output of the Internet Society, that is the Internet, is actually happening. Look, I don't want to keep talking and talking. You know more about what it is that you would like me to address, and I would like to know more about you. I know you have a full agenda, so I thought I just wanted to make sure that I congratulated you and told you how honored I really feel about being invited this morning. I think this election has been a brilliant move on all your part. I think this is what had to happen. You live in a large country where I would hope that the work would be around the country everywhere to as many people as we can reach who would join us in this important work to ensure that there is internet access, to ensure that it is an open, globally connected and secure internet that we're offering our people and our businesses and our governments. And that we, the Internet Society, are central to thinking of policymakers about how that all happens in your country, but also in your region and everywhere. Nigeria is enormously important. Its voice as a nation needs to be heard, and its people, of course, as members of a larger internet community to be heard. So again, congratulations, and Victor, if you like, and if there's time on the agenda, I'm happy to take any comments or questions.
Thank you very much, Kathy. We've all been very excited since we learned that you'll be able to make it to this session to speak with us. I know that a few people have mentioned that they wanted to ask some questions. I don't know if they've been put together or they're asking those questions directly.
Thank you, Ibole. I would also like to add to our online participants that you have the opportunity to ask your question directly when Kathy is still here with us.
Please don't hesitate. I'm wide open for any comments as well. It doesn't have to be a question. If you'd like to offer some recommendations to us or say what's on your mind, please don't hesitate.
You want to go ahead? Okay, so we're not hearing from him. I see a mischievous smile from an elder in that corner. Oh, he has no comment.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, please.
Daniel. I have a question for Katie.
Okay, who's speaking, please?
This is Daniel.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah. My question is, as Katie, the president of the ISO International, is there any task force in place for any country that misuses the internet, probably by the government or the users? Is there any penalty to be paid? I'm saying this because I know the country that I am in. I'm not saying this to rubbish the nation, but I'm telling you, if everything is going to work and it's going to work fine, it has to start from somewhere. What are the measures put in place to make sure that the internet facilities, the internet for all, is being used appropriately and used wisely? Thank you.
Did you get that, Kathy?
Yes, so I'm not exactly sure about the focus of the question. What I believe you're asking me is, what is the role of the government? Is that what you're saying to me with respect to internet access?
No, I think he was asking what the Internet Society can do to punish governments who are misusing the internet or something, or preventing open, reliable access. I think that's what he's asking.
I see. Well, of course, it's not the role of the Internet Society to be the punishment business, but we are in the business of trying to make the case that interfering with the use of the Internet, closing it down, it does grave economic injury to any region and country. It means that the people and citizens of that country don't have access to the markets of the world. It means that the online freedom of those users is affected in a way that is not necessarily good for the country nor for the region, because all of the information, all of the knowledge, all of the connectivity that brings prosperity, that brings opportunity is shut off. So our collective position is that the internet should be open and it should be available to everyone. And that government should applaud that and see the internet as an innovative technology that brings many, many opportunities. Those opportunities have been understood and seen throughout the world in terms of growth, individual empowerment, community empowerment. At the same time, there's concerns about security issues. I just heard someone on the last round talk about hacking, about security of data, and we invite our governments to work with us as the users of the internet to solve those problems. But we hesitate to see, and we speak out about any entity, including a government, thinking there's one answer to this, and if that answer is to shut it down, that's the wrong answer. So I think we want to take collective action on these issues. We want to be good listeners, but we also want to be good participants in our communities to stress the importance of an open internet. I hope that's helpful.
Yes, I think so very much, Kathy.
I would also point you to some of the reports we have done to our website, which is quite accessible, brand new at this point, where you will find those resources that you might find useful in these policy conversations you are having. So Internet Society, internetsociety.org you'll find the website quite accessible and lots of resources on the website to use.
Thank you, Kathy. I was in an earlier session going to talk a little bit about the 2017 Global Internet Report, Paths to Our Future, and maybe if you don't mind, take a minute or two to talk about the drivers of change. I think that might help people understand better, and then after that we'll take a question from the floor over here. Is that okay?
Sure. Thank you for that prompt. That report is quite a powerful report. It's the result of thousands and thousands of interviews that we have done inside of our Internet Society community on all the continents of the world about how our own users, our own society thinks about the future of the Internet. And again, you'll find a terrific interactive report online that talks about the alternative paths that the Internet could take in the next 20 years, having just celebrated 20 years, 25 years on the Internet. What's the next? And we outline what our community describes as the drivers of change. And they would be, as you expect, and I won't get into the details, you should read the report. Those drivers come from the economies around the world, from new technologies, from government actions, having to do with very vital issues around infrastructure development and maintenance, privacy, individual rights, human rights, and the inevitable effects of interconnectedness. So as we interconnect, of course, we bring our cultures and our laws and our practices together in ways that we have to negotiate those connections. Depending on how we deal with those drivers of change, we have an Internet that is for everyone around the world, or is fractured, or is shut down, or is changed in a way that doesn't conform, doesn't reflect the values that we believe are important: open, globally connected, and secure. So it's an enormously important report. I think you'll see some of the issues that you are wrestling with in that report. There's some recommendations as to where we as a society might want to go and how we might want to think about the future, which will help, I think, and has helped us formulate our global agenda, but we would hope would be instructive also for your regional and or national agenda. So I, again, go to the website, take a hard look at it. There's good data behind the recommendations. And I would say to you, finally, that the overall recommendation is that we need to ensure that the Internet is people-centric, that it is about people using the Internet, that it is all of what happens goes to greater personal empowerment and not to clamp down control by whomever, whether that be government or companies or in some cases by criminal elements that are seeking to take over parts of the Internet for criminal activities that we don't want. We don't want those because that it interferes with the ability of our people and our citizens to use the Internet. So really, again, I suggest you take a look at the report. It's very good. Thank you for that question.
All right, thank you very much, Kathy. I know you've got just about 20 minutes to stay with us. I'll take the question from the gentleman over there. Yep. Okay. Okay, there you go. Have my mic.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Kathy. My name is Benjamin Akimoeje. I just wanted to ask how easy it will be for the Internet Society to allow special interest groups, maybe in the really scarce internet-prone environment, places where they really lack access to internet, for 2 or 3 persons to come together to have a community effort to bring internet to their environment without necessarily going through a lot of structural process or policy to meet the requirement of establishing a small interest group to make something happen for their community. Having a full understanding of what it took us to have a relaunch of the Nigerian chapter, I was just wondering, internet being for all and the interest making internet available for everyone, for those areas that are in rural areas that 1 or 2 persons want to make a community effort, how can Internet Society make that process of coming together and establishing a special interest group possible?
Victor, could you help me with that? You heard better than I. You spoke very clearly, but those bits are not getting to my ears as easily as I would hope. Victor, could you help me?
Yes, Kathy. I think his question is focused on asking how the Internet Society can support small community who want to gather and set up their own internet in helping connecting the unconnected. So focusing on remote community where access is not going there, how they can set up their own internet without going through all the policy or barrier or other issues. So how can we?
I have it. An issue very close to my heart. Thank you. Thank you for helping me here. One of the major projects for the Internet Society this year, one of our huge goals has to do with what we call community networks. But what we're talking about is the ability of communities, in particularly remote areas, although we also have worked with communities that are in urban areas where there is no internet, to empower communities to actually build their own internet. And those projects, again, we have, I think, about 11 to 20 of them in process around the world. You will again find on a special page on the Internet Society website under community networks. And Christine, I think, just put in the chat, if I'm not mistaken, Christine, yes, the URL for that whole item, internetsociety.org, issues community networks. What are we trying to do there? We're trying to talk to remote communities in particular about other working and good technologies that will set up what are basically wide area networks so that the community itself can get online with each other, but then to find some sort of backhaul, okay, some ability to connect that the internet, the whole of the internet, so that all of the benefits of a global internet are available to that small community. We have some programs right now that are working quite well, and communities that have gone through this process, which takes some work and takes some ability to grow your own capacity to do this, and both technically and from a user point of view. Who's going to use this internet in that community? The school, perhaps, the clinic, the small businesses that are there. How can that be developed? And there's a whole methodology that we have been working around to make this possible for any community to take the model and to replicate it. We also have a funding source, not enough for the whole of everything everywhere, but it's called Piamanet, and it's a granting part of us that we run to help communities get going, if you will, as a sort charter. So also see those details on the website. Meanwhile, I want to make sure you understand you have the resources of our staff, of Victor, Christine, and others who are available to help you through these kinds of inquiries and to find you the resources we have, and then beyond the Internet Society, other resources that are available for this kind of development. There's a lot to say about that, but that's the overview. Thanks, Victor. Thank you to the speaker.
Thank you very much, Kathy, for that detailed response. In the coming weeks, we will be sharing more information about the Beyond the Net program and directing more and more people to the Internet Society website, because it appears that just a small subset of the community is aware of those opportunities, and the executive would like to be able to pick the best of the projects to put forward for the Beyond the Net program. I know you've got about 15 minutes. This is one of the, I think it's quite an interesting executive council that we've got. We, thanks to the chapter improvement process, got to start working before we were inaugurated. And we have the opportunity of having you here witness within the next couple of minutes the formal inauguration of this Executive Council. So we're really honored that that's going to happen. I will, while you're still with us here in this session, I will hand over the microphone to Mary Jane, who happens to be the treasurer, but she does more than treasury work. Mary Jane, please, thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to put myself on mute and listen to you all now. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. We've heard from Kathy's brief that internet is people-centered, and no doubt they need important people, great people from a great nation. So thank you, Kathy. And while Kathy was speaking, we had the provost from Sada Turimi College of Education coming. He's Dr. Yahaya Bomkari. And with him is the Dean of Languages, Dr. Abdul Qadir Abubakar. You're welcome, sir. We would like to call on Dr. Wale and Mrs. Odusote to please come for the inauguration. Thank you. Dr. Wale. Oh. Okay, sorry. Wale was a Jiga, or is a Jiga, for the electoral process that brought in the new executive. Wale was the electoral committee chairman. So we should clap for him for a job well done.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are glad that this is happening today. It's been our dream for quite a number of years to have ISOC Nigeria chapter very active. It's not news that no matter what is happening anywhere in Africa, as long as it's not happening in Nigeria, it's not happening. So if ISOC Nigeria is not active, you can be very sure that all the other chapters, country chapters, they will just be managing. So we are glad to have a very vibrant new executive members, and we are very sure that these ones will take us to the next level as far as Nigeria ISOC is concerned. Severally, we have met with the ISOC Global, and they are very eager to see ISOC Nigerian chapter very active. So today, I'm glad to stand before you to show you officially, present officially to you the new ESCO members of the Nigerian chapter, those guys that we will be very happy to hold responsible if things are not going well. During the election processes, during the campaign, one of the things we asked each one of them is to tell us what we should hold them responsible for after 6 months in office. So I will call them out, each one of them. I'm sure we will also ask them to make public their email addresses, their telephone numbers, so that when we need to harass them, we can harass them very well. And the next time we are having a public meeting, if we need to impeach them, we will be glad to impeach them. Like I said earlier, if things are not happening in Nigeria, in almost every part of Africa or West Africa, the East Africans they are very hop and doing in quite a number of these things. But if it's not happening in Nigeria, you can be sure that West Africa they're just waiting for us. So please join me as I welcome each one of them. I will start with the Financial Secretary. She's here. She didn't come alone. Thank you, ma'am. She didn't come alone. She actually came with 2 other people. I think they are there. Very soon you will start hearing some noises. During the election process, she just put to bed and she gave us twins. They are there. So please, Mrs. Fawole Okola, please a round of applause for her. Dr. Mary Jane Sule, she's the treasurer. Mrs. Fawole is the financial secretary. The very troublesome man that has been going around is the program secretary, Okundele Olumuyiwa Caleb. Please appreciate him. I know you will repay me, but at least for now I have the microphone. The PRO is the array of ISOC, Akimbo, A Cornerstone. Can we have you, Mr. Akimbo? If you go to any public meeting and you see anybody with the Abiti Aja cow, just be very sure that it's likely to be Akimbo. Please join me and welcome the Damazani of Kano. Our Hassan Tata is the Secretary General. And the Vice President is one of those guys aspiring to be the governor of Akwa Ibom State. Please join me to welcome Prince Inebo. And of course, the big masquerade, the President, Adewale Ajao. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the new ESCOs. They are young, vibrant, they don't have any reason not to perform. If they don't perform, let's hold ourselves responsible, because we need to put them on their feet. They must do what will move things forward in this country. So, Mr. President, I'm asking you that you make public your email addresses and your phone number, every one of you, so that people can always call and ask questions. I want to welcome Mrs. Odu Shote. She will take the vote. She's the permanent secretary from the presidency.
Thank you very much. I count it a great privilege to do this afternoon. I'm particularly enthused by the group of people that we have. It says that there's a future for Nigeria, and you could see the freedom, the liberty that is out here. It's not like our own generation. God will help us. ISOC is important. Many of us started to be members of ISOC so many years ago. And I'm glad that it's coming back alive again, and coming back not with semi-old and old people like SF and AHA and the rest of them, but young people like me. It's our time. I'm sorry I'm keeping you standing, but I just feel that I should mention some of the nice things that I heard as I listened to that panel. I don't know how many of us received on WhatsApp this message about a telephone number, that when that telephone number calls you, don't take it. If you take it, you will die on the spot. That somebody has taken it, somebody took it there, somebody took it there, and the people died. So I was just wondering in my heart, who now told them that this number was what killed them? You know, I was saying that sometimes it's like we have thrown our brains away by some of the things that we listened to when he was talking about hate speeches and all those. And I feel that in environments like this, we learn quite a number of things, and then we become more professional in the things that we do. I hope you are going to help us to do that more often. I see hope here, I see life, and I see a future. Particularly when people stand up and say that, just be sure, if you don't do well, we throw you out. And don't think that it is a permanent heritage, that is a family heritage to be the president or the vice president or whatever that you are, but it's by the things that you will put into this service, and you will see yourself as serving the people. We look forward to seeing exciting things happen in your administration. Well, I'm not a lawyer, but I still would want you to make some commitment to us as we represent the internet community as seated. So you would say after me. If you don't agree to say after me, then we'll throw you down, call Wale to do something else. I, and your name, and your post, do solemnly affirm that I will be faithful and would abide by the Constitution of the Internet Society, Nigeria chapter. So help me God. It's very simple. Let's put our hands together for them. I have an assignment to do, and that's to hand over the Constitution to the President. You have said you would abide by this Constitution, and please, no amendment in between. Don't change the goalpost. This is the Constitution, and we are handing it over to him, and we hope you would abide by this Constitution. So help you God. Congratulations, 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 and congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Some say speech, some say lunch. Thank you very, very much, Ma. Thank you also to the Elections Committee, the Bylaws Review Committee, and everybody that has put in a lot of work to make this chapter improvement process a success. And very importantly, to those of you who voted, thank you very much for participating. And on behalf of the Executive Council, I hereby appeal to you to not leave us alone in this. We're together. We look forward to your guidance, your creative criticism, constructive criticism, support, advice. Our ears are open, our doors are open. I think I can say that. We might not be able to take all the phone calls, but really, once you pass things across to us, like for a few months now, we have an ongoing discussion, and we're always trying to see what we can do to move the chapter forward. We do count on your support. We can't do it without you. Thank you very, very much, even for taking the time to come out here. For the 40-something or so people, probably more than that, but at any one time there have been more than 30 people online engaged in this session. Thank you very, very much for taking the time to be with us here today. I will pass the microphone across to there's supposed to be a public relations officer. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, we have made our promises before we came in as officers. We have tried our best to ensure that we do not fail in the promise. This is the first of its kind in 19 years, where we are relaunching. And whatever in the past that we have done successfully, we will build more upon it. Whatever we need to do more, we will stay steadfast. And finally, you all know it's free. Like SS said the other time, if it's paid for, you don't get people. But if it's not paid for, it's not seen as having value. We need to do the value change together. I don't know why the president gave me the mic to have to say a word or two, but one thing I understand is you can always get me as a local content person. Local content means I dress locally. I represent where I come from. I represent Nigeria. I represent Africa. And I know my co-colleagues will also understand that the executive order of the acting president then still stands, Executive Order 3, which says we should go local. So we will be going local in the internet society to also ensure that Nigeria stays on top of all issues when it comes to value. You can get me on my local content email, which is opomulero@akimbo.ng, proudly.ng. So for those of you who don't want to have it, go get it. My number is Etisala. I don't know if I can release it. Okay, it's 0817 111 1017. I'll take that again. 0817 111 1017. Thank you. I'll see you on the internet.
To all of our elders and everybody here present, thank you very much. We have your data with us as you came in, you register with us, but we will actually love to invite those of our members here who have not registered with ISOC. Please, just get online to internetsociety.org. From there, you register officially. Once you register, you go into Nigerian to join a community. You'll see Nigerian chapter. Join Nigerian chapter. We can do it from here, but we want you to do it because if you do it, you follow the processes, and then you will be able to be part of us. Again, we have your numbers here. We have your number here. From your numbers, you can send message. We will reach out to you from your numbers. We have Telegram forum, which we all belong. From that Telegram, we continue you make your contribution and we also react. You can also visit us and register also on our own local website, ISOC, ISOC.ng. Once you get to ISOC.ng, you can also register from there. Thank you very much for your presence. We are most grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. Don't mind them.
very much, Ma, and thank you, Dr. Dewali, Dr. Wali. So now we are actually valid officials. Earlier on, we were not. So now we can actually say we are ISOC officials, Nigerian chapter. The Secretary General is going to finish up the session with Way Forward. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow netizens, this is just a presentation of our action plan for 2018. It is drafted here, and I want to read it out, please. Quoting from ISOC Global, it says, "The internet is a force for good, and we must work together to keep it that way. The internet has become increasingly central to many of our lives and societies, allowing us to accomplish things in moments that less than a decade ago were impossible. For communities coming online, the internet is a connection to opportunity and empowerment. We are at a pivotal moment in the internet's development, so we risk losing the opportunity to shape the internet's future if we fail to act now. It is in this regard that the Internet Society Nigeria chapter have carefully created working groups that will bring everybody together in deciding the future of the internet. So by the end of the year, we hope to achieve 5 working groups. Of course, we have already created these 5 working groups. And these 5 working groups are divided, like this. We have the infrastructure, security, and community networks. In the beginning, somebody was asking, how do we engage our communities? How do we ensure that the internet is actually for everyone? And this is a working group that is poised to achieve exactly that. And we are going to be talking about related development and adoption of the internet protocols, development and security of communication infrastructure, as well as community networking. And part of our community networking is we've created social media handles that we have been engaging ourselves, even when we were not exactly ISOC executives. Now you want to see how much we're going to achieve by the time by this time that we have become the valid ISOC Nigerian chapter executives. The second working group is the protocols and standard, which is related to development and adoption of internet protocols and standard. Well, this is a group that's highly technical, so for our techies, this is a group that you will want to join so that you can now start bringing out position papers and policies to guide the policies of government and help in making sure that the internet stays free, secured for everyone. And we have the innovation and incubation. We are all talking about innovation and incubation now. And we thought it wise to actually create a working group to achieve just that. And the next one is the stakeholder engagement and member development. This is a particular working group that will want to engage every stakeholder. And we are all stakeholders. You don't have to be a techie. We want to engage security forces. We want to engage people in academia. We want to engage people in the society, different kinds of people, manufacturing, intellectuals, and what have you. All of these are going to be engaged together in order to ensure that they come together to ensure the achievement of the goal of ISOC Nigeria chapter. And we want also to be able to drive governmental policies with these working groups. So we will want to call upon all of us to please try as much as possible to join at least a working group. And joining a working group doesn't mean that you cannot join other working groups. You can join as many working groups as possible. It means that you are actually going to impact more on ensuring the achievement of the ideals for which we stand for. And that is the ideals of the Internet Society and ensuring that the Internet is open for everyone. Thank you very much, and God bless. Sorry. Our veteran is actually telling me that we need to tell people how to get access to joining these working groups. And everything is actually made available on the website of ISOC Nigerian chapter. And the website is isoc.ng. isoc.ng, very easy. Once you go there, you will see all the information that you require. Should you see things that we've said that is not on the website, please feel free to use the contact lines available online so that you can reach out to us and intimate us about it, and we'll make sure that we correct that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We would like to acknowledge the former CPN registrar, seated over there. Thank you, sir, for coming. Okay, we have come to the end of the session, but it's open now for networking, for collaboration with you must have made new friends here. You might want to ask the president questions. You might want to ask the Secretary General questions. You might want to give your suggestions. It's open, we're here, but anybody who wants to go home now and rest, we want to say thank you. And the Secretary General has talked about how to send us correspondences. So please, it will not be a successful event if we don't get response from you. We can't do it alone, and we don't know it all. The great ideas that will make the association grow will definitely be from the users and from the members. So please, we welcome such. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Even though Mergen has said thank you very much, it will be ungrateful of us not to say thank you to everyone who has come out here to take part in one way or the other. The panelists, I thank you very much for your very engaging discussions. Members, the press, the internet service providers, the Nigerian Research and Education Network. When we say supported by NGREN, it's courtesy of them that we have access to this beautiful facility and internet connectivity. Legend by Suburban also, thank you for the internet connectivity. The Bandwidth Consortium, the Nigerian Network Operators Group, and all of you, I say thank you. I didn't intend to do a vote of thanks, but we say thank you because we are appreciative of all that you've done for us, the sacrifices that you've made, the time, the travel. For those of you that have to travel back, wherever, near or far, we wish you journey mercies as you go. There are bites, something to eat, something light. Thank you very much.